try this again. Live Q&A part number 4 and try number 3 for the day. Let me just check and make sure everything's running smoothly. Okay, it should be running good. It should be running good. I think I fixed everything. Let me know. All right. Live Q&A part number 4. Thank you guys everyone for tuning in. It was a little bit more of a struggle today to get to the point that we are at now, but I'm excited to be live. And yes, it looks like it's running great. We might even be able to soften up these lights a little bit. Let's see. Okay. It's looking good, everyone. Awesome. Awesome to hear. Like I said, live Q&A part 4. If you guys tuned in earlier, you saw that we had lots of technical difficulties. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do it a little bit earlier. But the reason that I like doing these Q&As live, for a few reasons. One of them being, I just like to interact with you. It's like I'm having a conversation with every single one of you guys watching. And also I like doing it live because it's just like question after question after question. And I get a lot of better questions when I do it this way. Where, no offense, but like when I ask for them on Instagram, a lot of people ask the same questions like, when do you start racing? Why did you choose 18T? Which I love answering those, but like I answered them so many times in the previous Q&As, you know, I try to get some really unique questions in these. And when I do it this way, I get a lot of great questions. So we're going to be live. You guys can start sending questions into the chat, and I'll start answering them. But like I said, love doing these live Q&As. And one question that I do need to answer that I got asked a lot in the previous video. So you guys noticed I was wearing a different fire suit. The reason I was wearing a different fire suit is so I had to send mine back to Simpson because it wasn't really fitting right. It's a custom suit. So we're like, what are your guys' options for custom suits? Like, ours isn't fitting right, we just got it, like it really should be a little bit better. And so they offer like, you can send it back to them and then they'll put some fabric in between the legs and then that helps. So I just got that suit back, that's why I was wearing that other one. And the reason that I have that other one is I'm actually going to keep it because it was just a suit as a backup, and the reason we have that one is because I think I'm going to go out of my Simpson suit. I got it back and it fits a little bit better, but it's still just kind of tight in this area and the back's not long enough. So I don't know. I wish I could get some more life out of it. We're going to run it for as long as possible, but eventually I'm going to grow out of it. I'm just growing so fast. Start reading some of the comments. All right, you guys can start sending in your questions now. Glad to see the streams running better too, by the way. That was a disaster earlier. All right, send in those questions. Favorite SpongeBob character? I didn't watch a lot of SpongeBob as a kid, actually, surprisingly. Patrick was pretty cool in all the episodes I saw. Let's see. Will you be at Grays Harbor? I really want to go to Grays Harbor. Excited to go to that racetrack once again. It's an awesome place to be. Lots of great racing. Very wide, very big, and definitely worth going to. Where did I get the picture in the background? So I'm assuming you're talking about the one back there. That is from Red Bluff. The picture was taken at Red Bluff, and then the people from down there in Red Bluff, they, RCM Designs, you guys can check them out. They, like, offer tons of stuff, like posters, pictures, stuff like that. I think that's called, comment. What is it called? I just blanked on the name. I want to say Airhead. It's like Air something. But anyway, so that's, we got that from RCM down there. And it was definitely worth it. Oh my gosh. So cool to put on the wall. What's your dream car? Colin, my dream car it's called a Fathead? Okay, that's what it's called, Fathead. My dream car is a Koenigsegg. I think it's like 2.6 million. It's really expensive and it just looks super cool. It's one of the fastest cars in the whole world. One of these days, I want to get it. What's up, YouTube? What's up, Boyd? How's it going, dude? When is sprint car season? Very soon. It's coming up very, very soon. I think we have about a month, 4, 5, 6 weeks, somewhere right in there, and our first race will be coming up very soon. We got to finish out Red Bluff first, and then we'll start getting into sprint car season. What's up, Brooke? Why do I race at Red Bluff so much? Okay, so I race at Red Bluff because that's the best competition to make me the best race car driver that I can be. If I didn't race there, I don't think I would have some of the skills that I have acquired. I don't think I would be as, like, the mental side of racing. Red Bluff has a lot of the mental side of racing in it because everyone there is so good. So, like, for example, on a restart, if I'm racing against someone like Jesse Caldwell, like if we're doing California restarts, I know what he's gonna do. Like, he's gonna start on the outside, he's gonna get a run, he's gonna slide me in the first corner. Or if I have Tyler Seavey or someone, they're gonna throw a slider, or they're just playing the mental game as much as I am. There's so many good drivers down there that you race against every single weekend, and there's no other competition like it at that stage of racing. So if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best, and you have to race against the best every single weekend. So that's why I choose to run at Red Bluff. Plus, I love the racing there. I love the people there. Like, the racing community there is so tight, and it's honestly, in my opinion, if you want to make it in racing, I think one of the top ways is to start racing at Red Bluff and Cycling Speedway in Northern California. You have a great shot. Kyle Larson made it, Rico Abreu's making it, Logan Seavey's making it. I mean, these guys, they all started. If you look, most of these guys that are going up through Toyota and all that, they all have one common denominator, and that's outlaw carts, and that's in Northern California. Just my 2 cents. Alright, sorry I went on there for a little bit. Alright, so if you're asking about the engine, it is just a limited, it's got stock heads, they can only be to a certain extent. It is it's limited, it's exactly what it is. Steel block, and there's nothing you can do to them. Nowhere even close. The limited and the 360 are like 150 horsepower difference, if not maybe 180 and more. The top limited engines make like 550 horsepower. Come down here and race in Texas. Texas looks like a really fun place to race. And somewhere on my bucket list, 100% on my bucket list to go down to Texas. And Central PA. Will the sprint car be all white this year, or have a design? I will say it's not going to be all white. White is kind of one of the colors. So kind of what's happening is, I think about next week is when it's happening. Next week we're taking it down to California. That's where the guy that's putting the wrap on it, who designed the wrap, does some of my t-shirts and all that, Kevin Scherer Designs. And he's going to wrap it, and then we're going to get, like, everything's starting to come out. We're working on t-shirt designs for new t-shirts for this year, and we're trying to get everything done, finalizing last few sponsors. You guys saw I got Lafarge as a new partner for the 2019 season. Excited to have them on board. They will be like one of my primary on the wing and everything. So I sent out an email today to Kevin, and we're going to kind of get it all ready to go when we have the design, and we're just kind of working on where everything goes on the car. Who is your prediction to win the Monster Energy NASCAR Series Championship? That's like not even a question almost. I mean, Kyle Busch. Who else would win the championship besides Kyle Busch? Are you going to race at Cedar Lake? I've only ran at Cedar Lake once, and that was on World of Outlaws 2010, and it looks like a good track on there. It's not as good, I think, but I watched some videos from the Outlaws there, and it looks really, really fun. Also, if I have not seen your question or I haven't answered it, just keep asking it, and I will eventually see it, because the comments are going like this, and they go up so fast. Let's see. I'll try to go up a little bit. Do you like reading the comments? Yes, I love reading the comments. Have I ever raced a flat cart? Kind of. I think I've ran a flat cart once. Maybe I haven't. I ran the Sunrise car, which was basically an outlaw cart, similar to a flat cart with, of course, no wing and all that. Just had a cage. When's her birthday? My birthday is June 11th. I was born in 2003. And favorite candy? I really like Kit Kats. I would love for Kit Kat to sponsor me. If I could go on talking about my favorite foods, because I love candy, I love food, like I'm a big food guy. One of my favorite drinks, I really want ginger ale to sponsor me one of these days. I love ginger ale, that's one of my favorites. Let's see. Need Williams Grove? I would love to go to Williams Grove. I'm working on getting hero cards too as well. Alright, we just went to the bottom. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Salem. Are you going to Salem? I don't know if I'll make it there this year. I've been there like 10 years ago, 9 or 10 years ago we went there. It's a different racetrack. It's really, really big and it's flat, so it makes it really tough to pass. I just haven't, Salem's schedule always conflicts with my schedule, so I'm never able to make it up there. Daytona 500 pick. Daytona is really hard to predict because with drafting being involved and just like, oh, what's cool about plate tracks is like underfunded teams could win, like Front Row Motorsports or guys that usually are running 35th or just they don't have that opportunity to showcase their talent. They can run up front at Daytona because of the drafting. So that's what makes it really cool, makes it harder to predict because Kyle Busch could be running 22nd at the back of the pack, which, I mean, of course, it's Kyle Busch. He's going to win the race. So that's my pick once again. What is your car going to look like? That's top secret. I can't say anything. of what the car is going to look like. Do you have to run bursts? Levi, in the go-kart at Red Bluff, it is mandatory that you run Burris Racing tires. I think for nationals it might be open to Hoosier and Burris. It's just because Burris has a partnership, or I think they have, I'm pretty sure that them and Red Bluff have a deal, or maybe it's them and QRC. But Burris, anyway, well, of course, they're a big supporter of QRC karts and all that, but that's just the rule that they kind of mandated. So QRC is a huge supplier of Burris Racing tires, and then everyone comes to QRC's and buys them, and then like I said, they also support the house cart, which I'm fortunate enough to drive. When do I plan running Chili Bowl? My parents and I have been talking about it lately, and I think we're going to try to run Chili Bowl next year. It's hard to just like get a ride in something like that. Of course, I would love to get a ride, but we're kind of looking at our options and what we can do, of course, and we've talked to a few people that own midgets and see if we can get something worked out to run the 2020 Chili Bowl. Do I like Chase Elliott? I like Chase Elliott. I think he's a fan favorite, and I always have liked fan favorites. I think they're great people, and I think he's a good promoter of the sport. He's got a lot of passion for what he does, and he's definitely, I wouldn't say he's my favorite, because Kyle Busch is my favorite, but Chase Elliott's definitely, he's a great guy, and he's really fast. 3 wins last year, so he's going to be in the contention for the championship this year. Come to South Dakota. I would love to come to South Dakota. I can't remember. You guys tell me right now in the comments if it's North Dakota or South Dakota that Donnie Schatz is from. I think it's North Dakota. But the nice thing up in that area, they used, I don't know if they still do, but I know they have like a 360 region for ASCS, I think, the mountain region, and you could run, I want to say it was in Rapid City, South Dakota. They had a big half mile there that people ran at. Ford versus Chevy. I mean, both are good. I'm a Toyota guy. I like Toyota. That's where I want to get my first car. Toyota Tacoma is my first car, is what I want to get. What's your favorite restaurant? Sit-down restaurant. I mean, I'm not going to say my favorite sit-down restaurant. I'm just going to say, like, one of my favorite meals is In-N-Out. I know there's a lot of you guys that are not on the West Coast, so you don't know what that's like, but In-N-Out is so, so good. It is the best thing ever. I could not live without In-N-Out. It's so good. How much tire pressure is in your right rear? Ooh, that's you're trying to get information there. That's top secret, like I said. Can't even answer that. What class would you run besides sprints? Probably run Hornets, street stocks. I'd really run anything. And actually, to answer your question, what artist? If you're talking about like Outlaw Kart, like Carly's, we just scaled her Outlaw Kart and we had 10 pounds in the right rear. Come to Wisconsin. I actually might be making the trip to Wisconsin soon. There's a track up there for Outlaw Karts, and they're starting like a tour, kind of. It starts, I'm trying to think. I think it starts in Wisconsin and then comes down to English Creek for their kart nationals, and then we go to like Belle Claire. It's like 6 races or something total. It's a lot. I know they've been kind of doing it, but. Okay, Brady Sports and Outdoors, thank you for answering. Fargo, North Dakota. So I want to go to Fargo. That place looks fun. Donnie Schatz dominates there. Donnie's a legend himself, but definitely want to go to Fargo. Let's see. What's your favorite World of Outlaws sprint car driver? I have a lot of them. There's a lot of really, really good drivers. Sheldon Hoddenshield's a favorite because he's just a complete gasser. I really don't, it's not that I don't dislike anyone. I think a lot of them are really clean, really respectful drivers. I always liked Sheldon. I think David Gravel. And after watching Shane Stewart's performance in the CJB 5 car, honestly, I almost want to root for that guy because watching David Gravel in that car, I always liked him a lot. And I think maybe it's just the look of the car. The car looks really, really clean. But David Gravel, Shane Stewart. I actually got a really funny story about me and Shane Stewart, how I met the guy. So I'll probably make a whole video about this one of these days. So I'll just give you a little snippet of the story. So basically, I met Shane Stewart down at Southern Oregon Speedway. I pulled his pill for him for one of the ASCS. Maybe it was a national race or it was a Northwest race. Anyway, back when ASCS was huge here in the Northwest. At Southern Oregon, I pulled the one pill for him. He ended up winning the race that night, and I met him. It was super, super cool because they had like 8 kids pull for the top 8 drivers, and I magically pulled the one. All right. Any tips for a new driver heading in the 250 class? Yes, so the 250, main thing, be smooth. Smooth is everything and anything you get in. Being smooth and work on hitting your marks every single lap. And then one thing I always do in qualifying, I don't know if this is the best, but something that might help you be more consistent when you're qualifying, what I try to do is the first lap I try to go hard, but like not push it too much. Try to really set down a solid lap, and then every lap from there I try to go just a little bit farther until you find that breaking point. So then you at least you have one good lap that probably puts you in a good spot, and then you try to go harder, and if that works, you try to go a little harder, and you try to be smooth and really figure it out. Of course, if you're running at the same track every week, it doesn't change much, but I guess that would be a solution for if you're like running the Outlaw Tour, if you're running at a bunch of different tracks. You try to push it harder and harder and figure it out. Thoughts on Darren Pittman? I like Darren Pittman as well. I have nothing bad to say about any of the Outlaw drivers. I have massive respect for all of them because they run the Outlaw Tour. They are so good at what they do. They are so smooth. And Darren is like one of the best ambassadors for the sport. The guy he's good. He's an Outlaw champion. He's won lots of races. He had one of his best seasons ever, winning 9 races this previous year. And I think he's going to do great with Roth Motorsports. Those guys are top-notch. They've won some races in the past, I think, on the Outlaw. Yeah, they won 2 last year with Eliason. So Roth Motorsports and him will do a great job. Come to Australia. I would love to come to Australia. That's another thing on the bucket list. Australia is like where it's at for sprint car racing in the wintertime here in the States. And I would love to go to Australia and New Zealand. I watched a lot, like a good friend of mine, Logan Stevie, he went to New Zealand and ran the midget. But there's just lots of cool tracks over there, looks like. Mainly Western Springs. I'm not aware of a lot more on New Zealand besides Western Springs is the main one. But, over in Australia, there's a few more, it seems like, with Perth. And I think there's Valvoline and a few others, just looks really, really fun.
Hi, stream.
Carly's in here.
Hi.
Carly's on stream. Carly wanted to say, I thought I heard someone. I thought it was my mom, so I was waiting for her to come in and be like, hey, but anyway, I guess just Carly. Logan Rumsey is my biggest fan. Thank you so much, Logan Rumsey. I raced with him a lot on iRacing. Alright, thoughts on Kurt Busch at Ganassi. Kurt Busch is another good driver. I mean, do I think he's the better Busch brother? I would not say so, but I think he'll probably do good there. I think he's probably going to retire soon. He's had some success, but a lot more, I think, earlier in his career, or more mid-career, back when he was with the 2-car at Penske. So I think Kurt, he's going to do good, and I think Monster Energy backing him, of course, that's going to be great for him as well. Do you ever plan on running a midget? Yeah, I would love to run a midget. I hope to one day. I'm hoping opportunities arise there. That would be a good pathway to go. Another one of my friends, Jesse Caldwell, is getting an opportunity, I think, to run some midgets. Of course, he got to run the Chili Bowl, but he earned it. He, totally earned every bit of it. Won the KTM Give Back Classic, got to run Bakersfield, got to run Turkey Night, put it in the show at Turkey Night, and finished, right outside the top 10 out of, 60-plus entries. One of the biggest midget races of the year. And now it looks like he's going to get to run some Florida. I know he's down there in, what is it, Ocala? They're running Ocala tonight or something. They're practicing tonight, but... What is your favorite race of the year? Knoxville? If I had to just pick, what are the biggest races I love to watch? Knoxville and Chillyville, just the 2 that are great. Those are always, of course, the most exciting. Now, from a side of things, what is my favorite race to race? I would say my favorite is West Coast Nationals. It's just the atmosphere and, how tough it is to win that race with how many good cars there are in the building. Sometimes the car count, I think last year we had 45, which that's pretty good. I know in years past we had 60. But the thing is out of those 45 drivers, all 45 of them, for the most part, I would say 95% or 90% of that 45 is, they're top notch, so it's just tough to beat. Favorite current video game? My favorite current video game is, bye Colin, I'll see you later, buddy. My favorite current video game, I would say, is probably iRacing. I play a lot of iRacing, play a lot of Fortnite, but besides those 2, I don't play anything else. I mean, at all. I haven't had that much time to even get on the computer lately. Mainly, I just run league races. If you guys want to know what league I'm in, I'm actually working on a video for the league, so then to let you guys know. But if you guys are watching the stream and you want to join, it's called USA Dirt Racing League. After I end the stream, I'll put a link in the description so you guys can check it out. Basically, so far we had a race tonight. I ran 4th, which was pretty decent. We had a good car count. I think it was right around 15 or more, which our league is growing. It's very new. We have had 2 seasons already. We ran 360 wing, 360 wingless, and now we're running street stocks. So far, I'm leading the points this season, fortunately. We've had really good races. We won the first 3, and then tonight we ran 4th. And so it's really, really fun. This is my first ever league I've got to run. And so just learning kind of how it works, it's a lot more like real life. And that's kind of what I like, because you have to be conservative, because there's points involved, there's prizes, and stuff like that. So join USA Dirt Racing League, check it out. You should do a toolbox tour and cart tour. Yes, I want to work on that soon. One of the things, and I don't talk about this much in the videos, so I'm trying to get more of that kind of videos in. The thing is, I am such a disaster when it comes to doing like mechanical stuff. I was born I'm just like a really clumsy person. So like, let's say there was a thing of antifreeze here and we had to put antifreeze in our radiator for the outlaw cart. I would knock it over in a heartbeat. It's just gonna happen. It's just kind of how I roll. I don't know why. I have a story. One time my dad wanted me to hand like him something over the counter, and there was literally antifreeze here. He was standing there and I was standing here, and I went like this and knocked it over. And there's so many other stories of me being clumsy. Like this week we were working on the sprint car, and I had the mallet, and there's a bunch of like BBs in the mallet, you know, and it was breaking open, and I hit one of the Nerf bars, and the BBs flew everywhere, you know, just like, it's a disaster. But one of these days, here coming up soon, I definitely want to start as we get the sprint car built. And mainly the videos I'm excited to show you is like weekly maintenance, because those are a little bit better for me than actually building the thing. Oh my gosh, that's a disaster. You don't want to see it. Alright, what tracks do you plan on running in Texas? I don't really know many tracks. I think there's Devil's Bowl. I don't have like a plan, of course, to run any. I just would love to make the trip down there. Have you heard of I-30? I've heard of I-30, yes. How long do tires last on the sprint car? It really just depends on the track state, honestly. Track state, you know, like when we ran rubber down at Cottage Grove, we went through the tires, like, they were pretty much almost junked, I would say, after the A. They were gone, they were almost bald. But otherwise, also one thing we do is flip the tires. So like, we try to get usage on both sides. So flipping them, you dismount them and you just flip them around to get more usage out of them. We do that, and that helps get, you know, a few more races. You know, just really, like I said, depends on track states. If we're running on hammer down tracks, you know, we're going to get plenty of races out of them. But if it gets real slick and hard on the tires, that's when, you know, it starts eating them up. But the limited, you don't go through as many, where the 360, of course, just will eat them up a lot more. Thoughts on Daniel Suarez going to Stewart-Haas? You know, Daniel's a great dude. Daniel really is. I think he's got a lot of energy for the sport, and he's another good ambassador. And with his sponsor that's backing him, I think his sponsor is, I don't want to say this because I don't know if it's like correct, but I want to say he's one of the richest men in the world or whatever. And so he's got good backing. He's got everything, you know, it is to make it, which of course he's made it into NASCAR. But, you know, I'm saying to be like a winner and get to that next level where he's trying to be, because he's made it to NASCAR. Now he's just trying to get that first win and then championship, and after that, I think Daniel Suarez will be a successful race car driver, as he already is, and just a great dude. Daniel Carver, can you say happy birthday, Justin? Yes, happy birthday, Justin. Work hard to save up for your race car. You got this, Justin. Alright, are you going to run Tulsa Shootout? I would love to run Tulsa Shootout as well. That's another one of those races that's definitely on the bucket list to run. And I think if I run Chili Bowl, I'd run Tulsa, because then you get, you know, just a few laps to see what the track's like. Maybe find out where there's a few bumps. You know, actually, never mind, it's dirt racing, it's not asphalt. But, you know, just kind of figure out the whole berm, how the top kind of runs when it gets up towards the wall. Just little things you can learn. It's like running Red Bluff in a 250 before running in a 500. I mean, it's literally the same thing. A lot of Wisconsin people in here. Yes, one thing I was surprised is how many people are from like Wisconsin, Missouri, Texas, and PA. Like the PA people that watch us are loyal. I've had people from Pennsylvania for a while watching the vlogs and stuff. If I could run an outlaw car, oh gosh, I just lost your comment, dude. Someone asked about outlaw carts. Hang on, I'm gonna find it. It's because it just scrolled. Okay, would you rather run an outlaw cart or a sprint car? I couldn't even pick between the two. I think my favorite thing to run in outlaw carts is at Red Bluff, and then my favorite sprint car that I've experienced so far is at Grays Harbor or Cottage Grove. It's really tough to pick. Both of them provide really, really good racing. I feel like the outlaw cart is tougher in a way because the limited provides lots of great competition, and actually the competition is getting so much better. Like, it was at a high level because of how many cars we had, but it's definitely getting harder and harder. Red Bluff just has that, like, where 10 cars can win on any given night, and it's really hard because they're two different, you know, racings. They're both dirt racing, of course, but, you know, you race the sprint car way different than you run an outlaw cart. So I'd say both of them are really, really tough, and it's really hard to pick. It's hard to, like, say I would never race Red Bluff again in an outlaw cart. That is, like, it's one of my favorite things to do. That's, like, I'm so excited for this weekend. So, I don't know. It's really tough. It's really tough to pick. Let's see. Hey, everyone that's been joining the stream. We just kind of went up. We're close to 100 viewers. I know, sorry, once again, sorry it's a little bit late. I tried to get us in earlier, and my internet went down the drain, so that didn't really work. Do you have a job other than racing? No, I do not have a job. I wouldn't consider it like necessarily a job, but I work really hard at my YouTube channel. This time of year, my content is a little bit like slower because there's just not as much to do. Like it's been snowing at my house and stuff, but not like enough to go out and make a video or something. So I'm kind of trapped inside. I'm trying to get creative and do other cool stuff, and I have some story times I'm going to work on and some promo videos for some stuff. And I'm really trying to also just get everything dialed in for the year and figure out what I want to do and do some research on like my cameras and how I can do some better slow motion or how I can do some better edits or how can I get some better music. You know, this is really the time of year when you work hard to get everything prepared because our racing has already started, but it's really starting to get, you know, more and more here soon. Like I think we have one break coming up at the end of February, and then we're on for like maybe I think 6 or 7 weeks at the, you know, or more. You know, we just go. You know, we're only going to get a few weeks off once we start going here in March, which I'm thankful for. I love doing that. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm just saying, you know, once it's like the roller coaster is starting and it's not coming back for a while. So that's the best way to say it. Will I run World of Outlaws soon? I'm not old enough to even run with the Outlaws yet. I won't be till June, but that's just, I don't even know how to answer that question. I made a joke on my Instagram. I hope you guys knew I was joking. There was a lot of people that didn't realize it, but I'm not actually going to Florida on Sunday. I wish I was, but of course, like I said, not old enough, but hopefully here in the future. Volusia looks fun. I mean, the world's fastest half mile. Who would not want to run there? Hubert Plays, big fan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. By the way, guys, Hubert Plays is a Twitch channel. You guys can go check it out. And you're welcome for the shout out there. When am I going to Knoxville? I want to go to Knoxville this year, hopefully. That would be fun. I don't know if it'll work because of our schedule for limited racing. August is probably like the most hectic month. Or July and August. So July we have our 360 Speed Week, which this year instead of 5 days, it's 6 days in a row. And then in August, I think we have like 7 races in 8 days, 6 of those being on a speed week, and then the Saturday before, just like last year, is like the biggest limited race of the year, which is like $2,000 to win, which is really good for a limited, considering the biggest weekly series pays $1,000 to win, so you're doubling your money there. So that is good, and that, you know, that was a big week for us last year. We finished second in the points, you know, ran really good, ran on the podium 3 nights in a row, and this year we're hoping, of course, to win the championship and stuff. We were really close last year. Let's see. Bro, I might be moving to your state, man. Could I be your pit crew? Forced to leave. LG Gaming, man. I would love to see you at the track. Come by, say hi. That'd be really cool. I hope you can move to Oregon. Oregon's a great place to live. Stranger Things. I have not watched Stranger Things. My thoughts on it, so I can't even comment. But the thing is, I don't watch a lot of TV. Everything I watch is on YouTube, and if I'm not doing that, I'm like editing or I'm just playing video games. I don't ever... Like the last time I sat down and actually watched like TV was when I was watching like Chili Bowl or like Knoxville or something or a weekly show. Like I don't ever watch anything on TV anymore. You guys can keep, so we're up to 27 minutes. We'll try to go for probably 10, 15 more. Keep going. Usually like to do these for about almost 45. Oh, I'll see you guys. I know, like I said, I know it's a little bit late. I figured some of you guys are going to have to getting off. All you on the East Coast, it's getting late. It's your bedtime almost. Here it's only like 7 or something. Let me check. 7:04. Perfect. What's my favorite racing movie? If you guys have ever seen Racing Dreams, that's a really good one. Put in the comments right now if you've seen Racing Dreams. It's a really good movie. I've watched it like 100 times, it feels like. And it's really good. It's about like 3 drivers who are trying to really make it in the sport, and like they have 5 races. It's like it's not like a tour. Well, it's kind of like a tour, but it's like a series. It's like the national points. And if you win it, you're definitely gonna get rides. And like one of them is probably gonna make it like before the racing even starts. Like he seems like he's got a good background and everything, and he's gonna win. And then this other kid's like, this is gonna be my final 5 races. I don't think I'm gonna get to race after this. And then those 2 kids both win the championship in 2 separate divisions. And then there's this girl who's like really new to it, to her class, and then she finishes like top 5 and she makes it in the driver diversity program. It's really cool. You guys should check it out. Okay, so you guys, if you want to get started in racing, where should I start? I would start in like outlaw carts or flat carts. Those are definitely the best. QRCcarts.com has everything you will need to get started. You could probably even call them up and see, not like they sell used carts, they might have a few, but they can definitely direct you in the right path. There's tons of Facebook pages if you have Facebook. Check out like used outlaw carts classified. Like, dude, tons of stuff gets put on there. I see it all the time. Check them out, like used carts, like good used carts that could run up front, you know, for sure. Do I ever want to try and race asphalt? Yeah, asphalt looks fun. Oh my gosh, there's some people. Anyway, so asphalt would be really, really fun, I think. It would just be, it's different style of racing, but I think, you know, it would be really, really fun for sure. I would definitely love to run asphalt. Even if it's at Sunrise Speedway. Sunrise Speedway would be super dope. How is my math homework? My math homework has not been that great lately. It's really, really hard. I'm in Algebra 2, and school is really, really tough. Hang on, guys. Let's see. I have to put time out. Sorry. Okay, so keep going. Thoughts on gravel at JJR? I think it's a great move. I think he's going to be successful. He ran really, really good with All-Stars like last night. I think he ran second, or no, I don't know, a couple nights ago anyway. He ran really, really good, and, you know, just really, really think he's going to do great there. And I'm excited. The JJR guys are doing really good. They got a great program going, of course, that's been going for a long time. And I think with gravel in the seat, he'll be fast. Let's see here. Hang on. Thoughts on rally racing? Rally racing is really fun as well. I've tried it on iRacing. It's really, really hard, but hey, Watt Artist, I'll see ya. Have a good one, man. Thoughts on Christopher Bell? Christopher Bell is, I was watching his podcast today on Rip the Fence, and one of the things I love about Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson is, like, they both say each other is the best. Like, you ask Christopher Bell, he's like, they were like, dude, you gotta be better than Kyle Larson. You've beat him, like, at the Chili Bowl now 3 times. You've been beating him at Turkey Night. Like, trust me, tell me you're better than Kyle Larson. And he'll be like, no, I'm like, Kyle's way better. And then you'll talk to Kyle, and Kyle's like, dude, this guy just will smoke me every time. So they're so, both are huge supporters of each other. So it's really, really cool. Tanner, please make the trip to I-80. I would love to. Am I selling these hats? No, I don't have iRacing hats. I don't have them for sale. I just bought this one because it looked cool, you know. Oklahoma, would love to run in Oklahoma. Next iRacing video. I think I have a few, kind of. I have a lot of replays saved that I'm going to use soon. Are you colorblind? No, I'm not colorblind. Do you like posse drivers? Yes, Lance DeWeese is literally a legend. I mean, you ask anyone, when they go to Williams Grove, the guy to beat is that 69K car. There's just no one else that's as fast as that guy. What kind of racing hats do I have? I just have some snapback Tanner Holmes. Here, I got one right here. Snapback Tanner Holmes TH racing hats. Tucker Cole, you're colorblind? That's interesting to know. Yo, if you can, comment. So I had a colorblind teacher once, and it was really weird because he said, like, he would see, like, green instead of, like, red or something. Like, his colors were all messed up, and it was just interesting, like, to wonder what he sees, you know? It's kind of different. It's cool. Quarter midgets. I've never ran quarter midgets before, but I've been to one race, and it was, like, the coolest thing I've ever done. It was super cool to see those quarter midgets. Benjamin, I do. Thank you. Have a good night, dude. Bang the boards. Banging the boards. I love banging the boards. It's tough for me. It's definitely fun, but it's so incredibly hard for me. Like, as a driver, if there's something I have to work at, it's being patient, which I've been able to do before. In some races, I struggle being patient, and then banging the boards like Cycleland, Millbridge, Outlaw carts. Those are the toughest for sure. Tanner, you should race in Wyoming. I've driven through Wyoming on my way to Tanner. Oh, Bradley, that's awesome. Your birthday's the same day as mine. Wyoming, I drove through there before. We went through like Cheyenne, and we went to Little America. Comment if you guys. I know there's someone watching that have been to Little America. Cool place, and I think I would love to live in Wyoming. It's a great big country area, and would love to. Rico's mullet, yeah, Rico's mullet's pretty cool. I used to think I was gonna grow out a mullet. I was thinking about it, but I didn't. Tanner, where can you get your iRacing hat? R&R Racewear. You guys can check those guys out. They do a lot of racing merchandise. You guys can totally check them out. Awesome. J-Dub Racing, I don't know. I think we maybe went through Rock Springs. We stayed on I-80 the whole, I-80, so if it's on I-80, then yes, we did, but if not. How do you balance school with racing? School, my encouragement to you guys about school is just like get through it, get it done, and get good grades. It's really tough for me, like, I've been a good student. I'm not like the smartest kid, but I'm not like F's, you know? The biggest thing about school is like I was motivated to get it done, but the biggest thing with doing homeschool is I feel like if I don't start doing it early in the morning, I'll never get it done. Like today, I had a little bit of a late start because my mom and I, we went to the gym at like 7. We didn't get back here till like 8:39. By the time I got down to my computer, it was like 9:30, 10-ish. I had to write a few emails, so I didn't get working until like 10:15. And by then, I just like, I don't really feel like it because I didn't start earlier, and I just feel behind, and then I only get to work for a little bit, and then I had a meeting today with my teacher from school, so it's hard to really balance it all. The biggest thing when I went to normal school was, I mean, it wasn't as, like, it's different, you know, homeschool and regular school. It was just like, you know, get your work done, and it just kind of became a routine, you know, I tried to do my best, but I still prioritize racing probably above school. You know, school, I just try to get it done. Colby Fox, to answer your question, I have over triple-digit wins on Fortnite, over 100. That's definitely one of my proudest things, for sure. Is there a certain driver you dream of racing against? I always thought it'd be really, really cool, like, if I was like Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell were like throwing haymakers at Chili Bowl for like the win, and I was right there with them, like something like that. Or like being side by side with Donnie Schatz at Knoxville for the Knoxville Nationals win. Like, those are races you dream of. Or like racing against Kyle Busch at Bristol or something, you know? Like a real big scenario. That would be my dream. Let's see. Keep on sending in the questions. I've never been to Eldora. What is the scariest moment you had while racing? I've had a few decent wrecks, nothing too crazy. I've never really gotten injured. I've had to get checked out by the EMTs, but other than that, I was all safe and sound, and I'm here today. Everyone that's leaving the stream, thank you guys so much. Hope you have a good night and a good day tomorrow. It's almost the weekend. Have you ever thought making a mini track in your yard for QRC carts to test and also race? Yeah, we have a little track. We haven't got a chance to use it. Oregon's not the greatest place because of the weather. It's like really cold this time of year. It's really wet. The track is soaked. It's muddy. We can't even do anything with it. And we've been super busy. I think this summer we're definitely going to try to use it more. As I'm getting older, I can also do more on it, you know, prepping it as well. Stuff like that. I do homeschool Schultz, I do homeschool because of racing hockey. It's a great way. Honestly, the online thing is a lot better for me. School was a struggle, like sitting in a classroom and stuff. I struggle to sit still. You know, like right now, if I was just sitting here like this and I wasn't able to talk, like if I just had to sit here, it would be hard. It would be really hard for me. I like have to tap my foot or I have to make noise. I have to be doing something for the most part. And that's why I'm able to race, because I can sit there, but I can move my arms, you know, everything. Have you ever been, oh my, hang on. Let's see. If there's one thing about Red Bluff you want to change, what would it be? You know, this is not like me, like, bashing Red Bluff by any means. Red Bluff does, like, the most amazing job ever. They are, like, if a track wants to get better at, like, Outlaw Kart track, I encourage them to go to Red Bluff and go to Cycling. Go there and if there's and watch and see what they do. Watch how they do the officiating. Watch how they run a smooth show. Watch how they do their intermissions, like just little things. Watch how they do their tech. Watch how they do their scales. Watch how they do the pit meeting. Like every little aspect about it. If there's anything I wish that could be different about Red Bluff, it would be I wish that there wasn't so many haters. I wish that there was no haters about Red Bluff. Because the problem is nowadays is there's so many people that just dislike Red Bluff. And I wouldn't say there's a ton of them out there, but there's people that you just see them on social media, and I get fired up about it because, like, the thing is people there, you know, of course, every track has their rough moments. Some tracks have more than others, and Red Bluff, like this year, I think it's been some of the most cleanest racing I have ever seen there. And the officiating's been good. The calls have been super consistent. The starts have been called consistently. We haven't had drama or really anything. Besides this last race was a little bit rougher, but it got taken care of, which in the past, Red Bluff has not done as much, you know, but they're really starting like to do it right. And they have been for the past few years, but it's really tough to make the right call, and it's a tough job to have. So hats off to Bach. Every single year, when it was Topher, or now when it's Derek Copeland or whoever subs in for him, like, that's the toughest job to have in sports, you know, to be one of those guys. Oh, I think I know why I froze. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I froze. I've done that before. Okay, sorry I froze. Anyway, back to what I was saying. It's the toughest job to have, for sure, 100%. It's the toughest job out there. And, you know, if there's anything I wish to be different about Red Bluff, I just wish all those haters would just shut their mouths. If you don't like the track, don't show up, all of that. But instead, people will just run their mouth and make the track look bad. Where there's a lot of people that love Red Bluff, and I know there's going to be people that still will. Run your yard cart. Something that will be coming up in the future. Which sprint car all time do you think is the most iconic? A lot of Sammy Swindell cars. Oh, here, I got you, Colby Fox. So, I think Sammy Swindell, like, so the car that Carson Elledge now is running, like the bat paint scheme, when that was on Sammy Swindell's, I think that was super cool, and it looks so cool to have it back. Shane Graham also ran it in Outlaw Kart. Like, that paint scheme, I don't know what it's called, but it's where TMC Trucking sponsors, you know, the TMC, I don't know what the name is called, but I think that paint scheme looks sick. I'm excited to see Carson run it. It was super cool when Shane Graham ran it, and it was super, super cool when Sammy Swindell ran it, so awesome. Let's see. Try to answer some questions. Sorry I froze there, by the way. That was a bad deal. Also, guys, try to keep good comments. I don't want to have to ban people or anything. That's why I put him as a moderator, because I'm trying to do it in. But anyway, a few more minutes here, and then we'll end the stream. It's getting a little bit late, but I do thank everyone for tuning in. What's the best race I saw? I've seen lots of great ones from Red Bluff. That's another thing that people say. Like, they'll say, I've never seen a good race at Red Bluff. And I'm like, what do you mean? There's so many good ones out there. One of the best races, like Knoxville this last year was a really good ending. Chili Bowl this year was a great ending. I mean, there's so many good ones out there to name. How do you feel about micros? I can't really comment about micros because I've never ran them, so I don't want to, like, you know, unfairly judge them. I mean, from what I've seen, I think they're a great way to get started in racing. They're a little bit different to karts, but I mean, there's so many micros out there. Oh my, probably way more than karts, I think. Do I ever lose my cool? It is tough for me to lose my cool. And the thing that people don't see really is, of course, when I shut off the camera, people don't see that, what happens. But I'm like the same person on camera that I am off camera. Like, I don't change. Like, this last weekend, what happened at Red Bluff, like, I felt the same about the situation. You know, I didn't turn off the camera, put it down, and then start freaking out. Like, I genuinely felt that it was just hard racing. And I've lost my cool maybe a few times, but I'm a very calm person. Like, in my family, I'm the calmest person. And I don't get fired up like I do about some things, of course. But it takes a lot, and I really try to stay calm, of course. I want to be a good role model for kids watching and stuff, and when people get out of the car and they throw their helmet and throw their steering wheel and start dropping this F-bomb or start cussing up a storm, it's just not good. And of course I don't want people to not be emotional. I'm just saying, you know, I try to be a good example. I have to do a project on people I admire, and I was wondering if I could do it on you. Yes, I would love for you to do a project on me. If you have questions, or you want to ask questions or do an interview or whatever, I'm always down. I love talking to people. It's one of my favorite things. Send me questions. Favorite NFL team? I like the 40 Winers. I'm sorry, they're not that good, but I like them. Oregon Limited is not a 305. It has more horsepower, but they're pretty similar. I mean, they're pretty much the same thing, I would say. The 305s have less horsepower. The Limiteds have like 80 or 90 more horsepower. The Limited is a 360 steel block, and it's got like stock heads. They only make about 550 horsepower. Alright, send in your last few minute questions. My phone's going to die here any minute. I'll see you guys all in the next video. Are you racing Knoxville in 360? I would love to, but I don't think I'm going to this year. What's your biggest goal in life? One of the things I always want to do, like this goal is racing, is Actually, here, we'll go this way. What I want to do is I want to be like Brian Brown. That's another guy I admire a ton because he has his own team. He has lots of good partners in his racing. So he races a lot and he makes money off that. And I admire the guy because he owns his own team and he runs it very well. And he's got a great website and his social media. Everything's really good. And I hope he's doing well after getting hit with that the rock screen. That was a bad deal. But anyway, so Brian Brown, I want to have something like that. That would be one of my goals, is to have an operation like that. And I want to have, I want to run the Outlaw Tour. That's one of my goals. But also another goal is to stand in NASCAR victory lane. I want to be in a NASCAR victory lane one day. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up this live stream. Thank you guys so much. If you have any last minute questions, Draw My Life, that will come soon. I got to get a little bit bigger before I do one of those. But thank you guys for tuning into the stream. It's getting a little bit later. I'll see you guys all. Let me know if you like live Q&As. Go to the comments right now. Let me know if you like doing these, if this is one of your more favorite things to do compared to a regular Q&A. I always try to get your guys' feedback. I want to do what you want to do. I want to do what I want to do, and we can all do it all together. I'm racing street stocks for the first time this Saturday. Very, very nervous. Any advice? My advice to first get into racing is just, be smooth, be cautious out there. That's how I race my sprint car. I have to be very, very cautious in what I do because I know that if I junk it, I probably am not racing the following weekend, money doesn't grow on trees. So when I race it, I have to be aggressive, of course, but I watch my moves. For example, last year I was racing through lap traffic trying to catch the leader, and I was 3 wide in the middle of 2 cars in a sprint car, not a very wide track. So I thought to myself, this is probably not a good position to be in. I should probably just lift. It's way better to finish second than to go barrel rolling. So I lifted, and luckily the yellow came out. So, Daniel, like I said, my biggest advice, be cautious out there. Run your line, work on what you do, just be good. Maybe even go try to find some street stock videos of in-cars or watch how they drive them. I've never driven a street stock before, so I can't give you advice in that sense, but I would just encourage you, just go out there, hammer down, and push it to just as comfortable as you want to be. If you want to be 3/4 throttle, be 3/4 throttle. If you don't want to be wide open, don't be wide open. Just take it one step at a time, just baby steps, working your way up the ladder, and before you know it, you'll be winning street stock races. All right, rip the lip, everyone. You guys got to tell me, do you like these live Q&As? Do you like the live Q&As? I'll put the P.O. box here. I'll put the P.O. box right here. Send in fan mail, and I'll be opening all of it on camera as usual. One of my favorite things to do is open up fan mail. Oh, here's the zip code as well. Okay. All right, you guys like the live Q&As? Awesome. More of them coming in the future. Sorry it's a little bit later in the day, like I said, but I love talking to you guys. I love interacting with you guys. You are the best. You guys are the best. My address is leaked. Well, that's my P.O. box. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you guys all in the next video. New merch coming soon. New car design coming soon. Factory QRC cart this weekend at Red Bluff. And I need some water because I've been talking for 47 straight minutes. And it's time for me to go to bed soon. No, I'm joking. I got some more.